Transformers Rise of the Beast is the newest entry into the live-action Transformers film franchise, and it is a movie that I, as well as many others, are excited for. I mean, I got these Transformers figures right here. But also, there's a lot of confusion surrounding the movie. The biggest thing that people are confused about is if this movie is a prequel to the Bayverse movies or a complete reboot. Now, we know this movie is a sequel to Bumblebee, the 2018 movie that is really, really good, according to me and many other people. But after that, we don't know if this movie connects to the Michael Bay movies or not. And I thought it was pretty obvious at this point that this movie is a reboot because Optimus and Bumblebee landed on Earth in the 80s in this new timeline, when in the Bayverse, Optimus showed up in 2007 and Bumblebee was fighting Nazis. And 2, in Bayverse, Unicron is the Earth, when in this new series, he's its own separate planet. So that was pretty obvious at this point, but if you guys are still confused, that's fine because Paramount is not helping out. And the main reason why is because of this guy right here. His name is, hold on, Lorenzo Di Venatura. He is the producer of the Transformers live action film franchise, and he is somehow ruining this franchise. Now, the main reason why a lot of people are confused about if this movie is a prequel or a reboot is because we keep getting contradicting information, and it's because of this guy right here. This guy, he keeps saying this movie is a prequel when it obviously isn't.
But it is a prequel in that it's before all the previous movies. So it sort of exists in its own way. What I don't think it is a reboot.
Now, the director himself has confirmed multiple times that this movie is a reboot. It is a sequel to Bumblebee, but not a sequel or a prequel to the Michael Bay movies. You could watch Rise of the Beast and the Michael Bay movies at the same time. It doesn't really ruin it because the Michael Bay movies are constantly contradicting themselves.
Just to confirm, this is a true reboot, right? This is not part of the Bayverse, or, I mean, what can you tell us about that?
It's a reboot for sure. That's all I can say without spoiling.
All right.
It's a reboot for sure. If the Bayverse, you can still watch the Bayverse and be on your own verse, so to speak. With us, we're definitely like, we want this to work. You know, we want people to. It's a refresher, so you can call it a reboot in terms of like where we were starting. But yeah, it's definitely a new direction for sure.
But this guy, every single time he's at an interview and he is asked if this movie is a prequel or a reboot, he says it's a prequel when it obviously isn't. At some point, he literally interrupts the director of the movie.
Oh my God, that's a great question.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a sequel.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, you know, if you look at it from a timeline point of view, it follows Bumblebee. So
I don't get it. I don't get it. This guy is somehow ruining the Transformers film franchise because people are constantly confused. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what he has contributed to this franchise. On Google, it says Lorenzo Di Bonaventura is an American film producer and founder and owner of Di Bonaventura Pictures. He is best known for producing the G.I. Joe franchise and the Transformers film series. The films he produced has earned over $7 billion at the box office, so obviously he's producing the right stuff, but I don't know exactly what he is contributed to any of these movies. Maybe it was some filming location, maybe it was Peter Cullen as Optimus, I don't know. Now, I think the most likely reason why he keeps saying it's a prequel is because the live-action Transformers film franchise, the movies by Michael Bay, made a whole bunch of money. Let's just go on Box Office Mojo real quick and look up Transformers. The first Transformers movie made $709 million. Revenge of the Fallen made $836. Dark of the Moon made $1.123 billion. Age of Extinction made $1.104, slightly less than Dark of the Moon, but still really impressive. And The Last Night made $605 million. And I wonder why. As much as I like The Last Night, it is the worst Transformers movie ever made. This movie just sucks. Constantly contradicts itself, making up new lore left or right that doesn't make sense in the timeline. It's just confusing. The Last Night is at the point where general audiences just stopped watching these movies because they made no sense. And as someone who grew up with these movies, I love that part about it, but also general audiences just lost interest. So I think the reason why he's constantly saying this movie is a prequel to the Michael Bay movies is because they made a lot of money and a lot of the general audience knows Transformers because of these movies. But also, these movies kind of ruined the franchise for a little bit. It's only just now where there's an actual audience for these movies again. The first trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beast, let me actually look up this real quick because I don't want to sound like an idiot, is in the top 5 most viewed trailers of all time, just below Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Avengers Endgame again, as well as Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't know why he keeps mentioning it's a prequel. It is constantly contradicting information and is getting the general audiences confused, which is why I think he's kind of ruining the franchise at the moment, because no one knows what exactly is the point of this movie, because he keeps saying it's a prequel, keeps saying it's a reboot. It's confusing. I just want them to be on the same page for once, so we know exactly what this movie is supposed to be. In In conclusion, a sleep-deprived person is mad at a film producer that I'll never talk to in my life, and in the end, I don't care about. I'm still gonna watch this movie. Bye. Also, before I end, I just have to say, look at that guy right there. Don't make fun of my haircut. But I ranted about this guy for 7 minutes. I ranted about this guy for 7 minutes. I am so sorry if this video is actually 7 minutes, because it's just 7 minutes of just nothing. I'm sorry, but look at this guy right here. This is Transformers Rise of the Beast Studio Series Scourge. He's very cool. We got Cheetor. We got Studio Series Bumblebee, which his head is kind of loose, but that's okay. We got mainline Cheetor and mainline Optimus Prime. Anyway, look at this idiot.